The beautiful is that which, apart from concepts, is represented as the object of a universal satisfaction. This explanation of the beautiful can be derived from the preceding explanation of it as the object of an entirely disinterested satisfaction, for the fact of which everyone is conscious, that the satisfaction is for him quite disinterested, implies in his judgment a ground of satisfaction for all men. For since it does not rest on any inclination of the subject, nor upon any other premeditated interest, but since the person who judges feels himself quite free as regards the satisfaction which he attaches to the object, he cannot find the ground of this satisfaction in any private conditions connected with his own subject, and hence it must be regarded as grounded on what he can presuppose in every other person. Consequently, he must believe that he has reason for attributing a similar satisfaction to everyone. He will therefore speak of the beautiful as if beauty were a characteristic of the object and the judgment logical, constituting a cognition of the object by means of concepts of it, although it is only aesthetical and involves merely a reference of the representation of the object to the subject. For it has this similarity to a logical judgment that we can presuppose its validity to all men. But this universality cannot arise from concepts. For from concepts there is no transition to the feeling of pleasure or pain, except in pure practical laws, which brings an interest with them such as is not bound up with the pure judgment of taste. Consequently, the judgment of taste, accompanied with the consciousness of separation from all interest, must claim validity for every man, without this universality depending on objects. That is, there must be bound up with it a title to subjective universality. Universality. 7. Comparison of the beautiful with the pleasant and the good by means of the above characteristic. As regards the pleasant, everyone is content that his judgment, which he bases upon private feeling, and by which he says of an object that it pleases him, should be limited merely to his own person. Thus, he is quite contented that if he says canary wine is pleasant, another man may correct his expression and remind him that he ought to say it is pleasant to me. And this is the case not only as regards the taste of the tongue, the palate, and the throat, but for whatever is pleasant to anyone's eyes and ears. To one, violet color is soft and lovely. To another, it is washed out and dead. One man likes the tone of wind instruments, another that of strings. To strive here with the design of reproving as incorrect another man's judgment, which is different from our own, as if the judgments were logically opposed, would be folly. As regards the pleasant, therefore, the fundamental presupposition is valid. Everyone has his own taste, the taste of sense. The case is quite different with the beautiful. It would, on the contrary, be laughable if a man who imagined anything to his own taste thought to justify himself by saying, this object, the house we see, the coat that person wears, the concert we hear, the poem submitted to our judgment, is beautiful for me. For he must not call it beautiful if it merely pleases him. Many things may have for him charm and pleasantness. No one troubles himself at that. But if he gives out anything as beautiful, he supposes in others the same satisfaction. He judges not merely for himself, but for everyone, and speaks of beauty as if it were a property of things. Hence, he says, the thing is beautiful, and he does not count on the agreement of others with his judgment of satisfaction, because he has found this agreement several times before, but he demands it of them. He blames them if they judge otherwise, and he denies them taste, which he nevertheless requires from them. Here, then, we cannot say that each man has his own particular taste. Here, then, we cannot say that each man has his own particular taste. For this would be as much as to say that there is no taste whatsoever, For example, no aesthetical judgment, which can make a rightful claim upon everyone's assent. At the same time, we find, as regards the pleasant, that there is an agreement among men in their judgments upon it, in regard to which we deny taste to some and attribute it to others. By this, not meaning one of our organic senses, but a faculty of judging in respect of the pleasant generally. Thus, we say of a man who knows how to entertain his guests with pleasures, of enjoyment of all the senses, so that they are all pleased, he has taste. But here, the universality is only taken comparatively, and there emerge rules which are only general, like all empirical ones, and not universal, which the latter judgment of taste upon the beautiful undertakes or lays claim to. It is a judgment in reference of sociability, so far as this rests on empirical rules. In respect to the good, it is true that judgments make rightful claim to validity for everyone, but the good is represented only by means of concept as the object of a universal satisfaction, which is the case neither with the pleasant nor with the beautiful.